Immerse in the profound wisdom of the Shandilya Bhakti Sutras, ancient verses, revered as a pinnacle of devotion and spiritual awareness. Under the guidance of His Holiness Swami Jyotirmayananda, plunge into the infinite ocean of this revered scripture. Discover its hidden truths. Embrace its transformative power. Awaken to new realms of divine love and spiritual awareness. The depths are calling. The deeper you dive, the more treasures you'll discover. And now, Sri Swami Jyotirmayananda.
Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om. Adorations to Lord Krishna, the preceptor of the universe, destroyer of the forces of darkness, and bestower of immortality. Kansachanuramardanam, actual verse says he is the destroyer of Kansa and Chanura. Those are symbolic of ignorance, egoism, and all related obstacles that are on the path of enlightenment. In brief, they are the forces of darkness. Krishna is the destroyer of the forces of darkness. And Devaki Paramanandam. Devaki is Krishna's mother. For Devaki, she is the highest bliss. You may ask, what is it for us then? The idea is to develop that motherly sentiment within you. Become Devaki and turn your feeling towards God. The moment you are Devaki, then God is the Paramananda. He is the only bliss in the whole world. In every form of love, there is some doubt. But mother's love is considered unobstructed. And it doesn't require any response. So, in Shandilya Bhakti Sutras, we are in the Sutra number 65. The Sutra is talking about meditation. Our topic is different practices that help a person to develop Parabhakti, supreme devotion. Among those forms I have already talked about Shravana and Kirtana. Shravana is listening and Kirtana is singing. I have also given you a broader meaning. Otherwise your whole practice is just confined to listening in the temple and singing, and then that's it. All practices have profounder meaning. At profounder level, every spiritual practice must be pervasive, always with you, whether you're sitting, sleeping, walking, doing various things. When a mother loves her child, that loving process is continuous. When you ask a person, think of God, and the person says, what time? How long? And then you will give a plan of sadhana. This much you have to do meditation, these many malas, etc. And complain, oh, there is no time. But come to a deeper level where you have that love of a mother to a child. And God has become the most fascinating child. Then, question doesn't arise. Rather, you turn around and say, please don't disturb me. So, on broader level, I was explaining to you, listening, Shravana, listening means learn. If you are studying books written by sages, still it comes within the range of listening. You are listening to the words. You are trying to understand. It involves guidance from spiritual precept, how to study. So that's an important aspect, how to go on listening, understanding, developing insight. But while you go on developing insight, there comes another, how to express it in your life. When you listen to good things and your heart is so glad, then you start humming. You look around and find some people to talk about. The idea again, in a broader level, to understand that as you go on enriching your knowledge, you also go on sharing it. You share your knowledge in three ways. You set an example. This is the way situations have to be faced. If you have, say, meditated upon God, Shantakaram, His embodiment of peace. Now, you can sing it. Shantakaram Bhujage Shayana. Coming to another level, you come into a situation in daily life when it agitates your mind. Sometimes people agitate you, and sometimes even in the kitchen, your stove will agitate you. Some people are shouting at their knives. So in those agitating situations, if your mind remains calm, and people around you see that you are calm, you have done a wonderful singing. The next level of you actually say. People around you, try to reach them, try to share your knowledge in a way they can understand. That becomes an art. You become a teacher. All teachers have to have art. Different students need different ways of listening to the topic. And the third is turning towards God. I want to convey my message to someone, but that someone is in Australia. That I'm giving only in a figurative way. That someone can be very close to you, physically, but not so attuned. You can be mother, you can handle, and you want to teach your own son or so forth. So now this level is you turn your mind to God, you pray. Oh God, I leave it in your hands. So, singing is being done in three ways. The simple way, you learn and you teach. Learning is listening. Teaching is singing. Sharing. Of course, using the modern technical language, you do twittering and tweeting. The birds do that, you see. And they're very happy. They simply tweet and twitter. And when they are tweeting, people walking by, they are happy. The third level, Shravana, Kirtana, Smarana, how to allow your mind to be focused on God. Smarana is literally remembrance of God. But while in Bhakti Yoga you are hearing the term remembrance, it also implies dhyana, meditation. Raj Yoga gives more emphasis on meditation. The same is practiced in Jnana Yoga, which is Vedanta, and their term is used nididhyasa. But all this, I don't want to distract your mind to so many directions. Basically, how to turn your mind to God. And that was my theme last time. And I gave a sample of meditation on Lord Vishnu. Firstly, to understand that God can be worshipped in countless ways. There is no limit. And there is no contradiction. Every spiritual seeker, when you become involved more sincerely and profoundly, first thing that is very important to have mantra initiation. Your mind has already come to an understanding that you are going to meditate on God as Rama, as Krishna, as Shiva, as Devi, as Jesus, as formless, abstract. Abstract worship becomes difficult, and also you are deceiving yourself. Because when you say, I don't believe in God having any form, all right, then practice with formless God. So what will you do? God is formless. Just like this time. The form has already come in. Even your mind, when it uses this, God is formless, the word formless has formed. So instead of struggling to get away from form, why not try to understand all form is God's form? So you are never making any mistake. Anywhere your mind focuses, the entire universe is Him. And so you are initiated into mantra, and you understand that if you have chosen mantra, for example, Rama mantra, Shri Ramaya Namah, or Shiva mantra, Om Namah Shivaya, or similarly there are other mantras. You have chosen that, you view that mantra as the highest. And the form you have chosen is like your relationship with your mother. There are countless mothers, but for you there is only one. And you never go on discussing with others, why not you adopted my mother? Mine is the best. Similarly, you don't go on urging others to adopt your mantra. Nor do you view their mantras in any way inferior. That broad understanding has to be there. Also understand that if you have Krishna mantra, for example, then mantras of Rama, Shiva, and Saraswati and others, they are all supporting that mantra. They are all supplementary. So every deity presents to your mind a special way of focusing your attention on God, the Absolute. Let me give you some samples. Already I have talked about Lord Vishnu, how to turn your mind to Lord Vishnu. That was Vishnu Dhyanam, the practice of worship. Dhyanam term comes often, it's very important. Means how to set your mind focused on God. How to prepare your mind. Let me recite for you. Shiva Stotra. Your Ishta mantra is Om Namah Shivaya, or you are choosing that mantra. And even if you don't have any Ishta mantra, you just want to follow your own If you are in a garden and your attention is directed to a particular flower, continue. Further, Hindu scriptures, being the oldest in the process of research and study and twittering process, there is a treasure of literature, and your mind should be open to how to enjoy all from all sides. Devotion to God should not be restrictive, that I will go only to my church or to my style of religion. And if others are praying, I should close my eyes if they are using other religions. That also exists. Narrow-minded approach. But your attitude to religion should be just like your attitude to recipes of food. The moment you find something interesting, you never ask to which religion do you belong, etc., etc. You simply want to enhance your food. In the same way, your food being food for your feeling. And that food can be enriched by all types of inspired teachings that have come from countless sages. We will not go into too much in that direction, but coming to Shiva Stotra, Yasyanke cha vibhati bhudhar suta deva pada mastake bhale vala vidur dale cha garalam yasyo rasi vyalarat soyam bhuti vibhushanah suravara sarvadhipah sarvada sharvah sarvagatah shivah shashinibha Shri Shankarah Patu Mam. As you listen to it, you realize how the sound has been arranged to create a special vibration. Apart from that, there is a meaning behind it. May he, Lord Shiva, the absolute self is represented as Shiva. Shiva's form is mostly presented in a form of meditation, and he is absolute sannyasi, nothing elegant that with which he is decked, nothing elegant about him. The description is matted locks. The Ganges sprouts from his crown of the head. Crescent moon is in the matted locks. And he has 3 eyes. Third eye, the eye of wisdom, enlightenment. His snowy white complexion, which represents sattva, absolute purity. His throat is blue, with a story behind it that all the poison of the world, there was a time when Shiva just sipped it. So whatever poison you see is fake poison. It follows the same mysticism of the Bible. Lord Jesus, having accepted the cross, he has washed away the sins of all. All that you have to do is surrender to. If you go into study of religion from a deeper point of view, all religions are expressing the same truths. At the deepest level, you are divine. All the idea of limitations, impurities, they are through your mind, and the mind is not you. Now, the meaning of this stotra that I recited, may Lord Shiva, in whose arms there shines the daughter of the mountain king, that relates to goddess Parvati, symbolic of cosmic power, with a special aspect of knowledge, intuitional knowledge. And on his head is adorned by divine stream Ganga. The Ganga river represents the river of devotion and wisdom. On his forehead there rests the crescent moon. Moon is the symbol of mind that waxes and wanes in all people. And this waxing and waning of the moon makes a human being practically a lunatic. That's what the lunar term is used. But look at Shiva. In him it stays. No waxing, no waning. In absolute quiet. That becomes your goal. Whatever quality you are seeing in Shiva or in Vishnu, that's the quality inherent in your consciousness. Because God is not outside entity. He is the very source of your personality. But as long as your mind has not reached that level, you are given a simple method of feeling you are different and God is there to be worshipped by you, until the spirit of worship begins to remove division, separation, duality. On his throat he holds the poison. Poison is all that is negative, evil, impure. And therefore, as you turn to Lord Shiva, whatever poison is hurting you, that poison will be sipped up by Shiva. It's already a fake poison. So if you turn to Lord Shiva, it will not affect. If stressful situations arise in life, they are kind of poison. Turn your mind to God. And the moment mind develops a deeper love for God, all that moves away. During a dark night, so many fearful sights present themselves to human mind. The moment the sun begins to rise and the rays of the sun penetrate the realm of darkness, and darkness dissolves, all that fear moves away. Children go after, looking for where did the darkness go? And on whose chest there lies the mighty snake. That snake relates to Kundalini Shakti. All cosmic powers are represented by snake. Even the Bible will have a reflection of this symbolism. When Moses turns snake into a rod, or rod turns into a snake, that rod represents the spinal column. Kundalini Yoga is that mystic energy that's awakened by people who practice that Kundalini Yoga. And even if you are not a practitioner, there are many psychic centers that begin to blossom as you move towards God realization. So this movement is represented by this cosmic snake, and that snake abides in the chest, who is decked by sacred ashes on his body. Ashes give you a symbolism of destroying all karmas. Karmas, subtle desires, vasanas, subtle impressions. All your experiences in the world are a magic show created by impressions, subtle desires, and thought waves of the mind. As wisdom and devotion enter your heart, subtle desires dissolve. The deep-rooted impressions, they burn up. When things burn up, what is left? Ashes. Shiva's vibhuti, ashes. Vibhuti in Shiva temple or in any temple when Shiva is worshipped, instead of the red mark, you receive ashes. And that's the symbolism behind it. You are receiving a blessing to bring about effacement of all karmas, burning down the realm of ignorance. May he, the chief of gods, each mantra refers to the chief, the Lord of all, the destroyer of the universe. Normally, when you hear someone is a destroyer, it gives you a different sense. All yogic scriptures, they are directing your mind to the destruction of the world process. Samsara, the cycle of birth and death. The omnipotent, omniscient Shiva, the moon-like God, coming to another form of symbolism. Moon, full moon, radiates nectarine rays, and the world seems to enjoy it. If your mind turns to God, and God becomes the focus, the grace of God, His amazing experience floods your mind with nectarine rays of divine presence. So God has a moon-like face. He is called Shankara, Shamkara. Kara is the doer. Sham, all things that are auspicious. Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram, 3 words are used. Satyam, real. Shivam, auspicious. Sundaram, beautiful. Beautiful in the sense of divine, sublime, elegant. May He ever protect me. May He be my refuge. Let me give you another Dhyana Stotra for Goddess Saraswati. Ya kundendu tushara hara dhavala ya shubhra vastravrita ya veena varadanda manditakara ya shwet padmasana ya brahmachuta shankara prabhiti devai sada pujita samam patu saraswati bhagavati nisheshaja dhyapa. For students, it's a very powerful stotra. Goddess Saraswati is the absolute, but with a special aspect that presides over intellect, all process of learning, and more practical level, speech. So if you want to have success as a student in expressing yourself, in writing things that will make you successful. And Saraswati is the source of all types of inspiration. May that goddess, whose complexion is fair, like the shining moon, her complexion is snowy white, kundendu. Kunde is like a jasmine flower. But look at a jasmine flower, all that you see is snowy white. But one thing you forget, what you are not seeing is all the fragrance coming out of it. So how can you fit in language? It's described as a shining moon. The moon is constantly shimmering. Who wears a garland of snow white jasmine flower. And tushara hara dhavala. Tushara refers to snow, just like the shimmering snow. That's her complexion. And is adorned by a luminous white garment, whose hands are decked by veena, musical instrument. Veena constantly gives you the message of harmonizing and integrating your personality. Every personality has 4 major strings: action, emotion, will, and reason. If these 4 aspects of your personality are not harmonized, your music is discordant, nasty. As you turn to Goddess, she straightens you up. You become Veena in her hands. You turn to Krishna, he likes flute. He turns you to a flute. All these are figurative. And in another hand she holds, because she has 4 hands, 4 represents all pervasive. Instead of saying millions of hands on all directions, you simply put in a simple way. It's easier to meditate on 4 than all so many. Vardanda is a mystic staff. Great people, reverential people, they hold a staff as a mark of blessing. Who is seated on a white lotus. Lotus is a symbol of unfoldment. As you blossom, your life is a process of blossoming. The beginning stage of your blossom, it is tamas, so it's not so. It's leaves with lots of thorns. Second stage of blossoming, you have colorful petals, but all discordant, one going this way, another going that way. Third level of blossoming is absolutely snowy white. She represents the highest climax, where all the 3 modes of nature have been transcended. And she is the abode of sattva, absolute purity, who is ever adored by Brahma, the creator, Vishnu, the sustainer, Shiva, the destroyer. You must realize, if you are Shiva's devotee, you may get upset. But not so if you have understood the culture. So since you have chosen Saraswati, now all gods, the greatest of them, the Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, they are all in front of her, folded hands. So she is the inspirer of creativity. Brahma can't create unless he has creative imagination. She is the sustainer. She has all the motherly element to sustain. And she is Shiva, the destroyer of all illusions. So all the deities are worshipping her, who destroys all forms of inertia and dullness. That's life is a constant process of removing ignorance. Ignorance gives rise to inertia. Inertia expresses itself in the form of developing a dull mind that can't grasp. Inability to be energetic. Even if the mind has intellectually grasped it, your body is not ready, your personality is not ready. In spiritual movement, all forms of inertia and dullness, in physical plane, in psychological plane, in all planes, they are removed. But all this happens in a progressive manner. You never expect a miracle to happen. If you are expecting, you are a miracle of miracles. Because everything around you is nothing but miracle. Look at your body. Think of your brain. Think of how, even though you are engaged in so many things, the nose goes on doing its work. The eyes go on doing their work. Pranas go on doing work internally. Isn't this a miracle? If you become deeply involved, you realize the divine presence is performing miracle of miracles all the time. What I was saying, that is a progressive. As your mind turns to God, instead of expecting a miracle to happen, something extraordinary, what you are expecting, that you are getting better. If 2 years back we became angry and stayed angry for a whole day, And now become angry and stay angry for 15 minutes. You are progressing. Generally people say, how can I progress? Where should I go? Who is the teacher who can just touch on my head and I get enlightened? Reversal, that progress doesn't mean something strange is going to happen. Think of a little tree. Its progress is to become a big tree, to blossom, to bring out fruits, to invite birds to do tweeting and twittering. A tree doesn't go on asking, when will I become that? When will I have that one? Day by day, a few little leaves come in, a few branches come in. All that is progress. If you realize that you are like a tree, so don't hold in your mind a kind of a stress. I've been practicing sadhana. I haven't seen even a little light in my head. No deity came, no voice was heard. Looking in that direction is ignorance. Look at what you are already is a work of divine grace. What you can be day by day as you allow integral yoga to be practiced. The very fact that you are practicing it is a miracle of miracles. And therefore the movement is progressive. And with this I will conclude. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Thank you for joining us on this journey of spiritual growth. It's an honor to learn from the wisdom of Swami Jyotirmayananda. As we part for now, remember, the quest does not end. Take time to reflect on today's insights and integrate them into your life. Until next time, stay open, stay curious, stay present. The light within you is always shining.